Hey guys, Hypolast here. I'm back from my Thanksgiving weekend, and if you had a long weekend as well, I hope you enjoyed it. I know I did. Today we've got a Kal-Azaar Invoker of Agony deck. Ever since the Betrayal got released, Inferno got a huge boon. It was actually more because of the Invoker change and the first and second turn rules change that caused Inferno to be better, but also Inferno got Spellstealer Heretic, which is just an insanely powerful card, especially if you have Dark Magic for Soul Reaver, but we'll get to that interaction in a second. Looking at Kal-Azaar, you have access to Prime, Dark, and Fire Magic, so it's a pretty potent combination. Prime is mostly just for Ariana. The new Ariana is just as good as I thought she would be. In addition, you start with 2 Magic, 1 Might, and 0 Destiny, which is actually good because Fortunes are not very good right now. So starting with 0 Destiny just means that you're not wasting a stat point for something that you're not going to use. Starting with 2 Magic is really nice. It gives you access to a lot of spells really early on, and means that you can focus a lot on your Might to get up there for your Hellfire Maniacs and whatnot. His special ability is to discard a card to deal 2 damage to a target creature, so mostly you're going to be using that just to swing combat in your favor. If you have, say, a Maniac out, and they have something with 4 health, you can use that as kind of a free firebolt, or rather turn anything you want into a firebolt, and just kill off their 4 health guy. So hopping into the creatures, it's a fairly aggressive deck. We've got 4 Maniacs that we're trying to play on turn 1, 4 Hellfire Imps, 4 Hatching Breeders, 4 Juggernauts, and 4 Osmotic Breeders. These are the aggressive guys. We've also got 4 Hellfire Bloaters to try to maintain control of the board. And later on we have 1 Doombringer, which I'm not completely sure of, because usually you want to have good board control, and if you don't have good board control you've probably lost quite a few cards getting there, so after using a Doombringer to reset the board, the chances that you can regain board control are probably not that high. So I'm considering cutting him for maybe another spell. I'm not completely sure yet. We also have 4 Hellfire Maniacs. This card is just absolutely fantastic, probably one of the best Inferno cards in the game. You play him down on the row and you basically just instantly have complete control over that row. He's usually going to be getting you some card advantage, and it's just always good to play. The only thing is he requires 5 Might, but I mean Hikyu and Doombringer also require 5 Might, so it's not really a downside. Speaking of Hikyu, we are also playing him. He's just a general good card. You usually want to play him if your hero is fire aligned. His Area Blast 2 can come down and deal a lot of damage right away, and his other ability of dealing 1 damage to things in the same row as him is not irrelevant either. We're also playing 4 Spellstealer Heretic. This card is absolutely insane. If you have a Soul Reaver in your graveyard, then she's basically a Banshee, except with much better stats. One of the nice interactions between her and the Invoker hero is you can be sitting on 2 Magic, discard a Soul Reaver from your hand with your hero's ability to deal 2 damage to something, play the Spellstealer, get the Soul Reaver back, and then because she has Magic Channel 2, you can then play future Soul Reavers without having to increase your magic. You can also play Ariana without having to increase your magic. So Spellstealer Heretic just has a lot of really great interactions with the deck in general. That's why I'm playing 4 of her. Also 1 Ariana. This is basically Banshee on steroids. Ariana has been just absolutely fantastic for me. Always love playing her. A little bit expensive at 7 resource, but she comes down and she instantly affects the board in a positive way every single time. So looking at our spells, we've got 4 Firebolts, 4 Town Portals, 3 Forked Firebolts, and 4 Soul Reavers. All of these are fine to get back off of Spellstealer Heretic, though Firebolt is probably the least impactful, but it's still fine. Ideally you want to get a Soul Reaver in your graveyard. Something to watch out for is if your opponent has Rise of the Nethermancers, then people are starting to catch on that they need to banish spells against Inferno. So if you play a Soul Reaver on turn 4, don't really expect to be able to get it back with a Spellstealer on turn 6, because chances are it'll be banished. So just keep your eyes on the events, and if you see a Rise of the Nethermancer, be aware of that. Forked Firebolt is very good. Since Kal-Azaar starts with 2 Magic already, the 2 Magic is not a restriction at all, so this card is pretty free. If I was going to cut the Doombringer, which I may, I would probably just play a 4th Forked Firebolt, and if you're not a fan of the Doombringer, you can probably just do that too. For the events, we've got 4 Week of the Dead. These are just for interactions with our Hellfire Bloaters and Doombringer, and 4 Week of the Mercenaries to push the last little bit of damage if we need it at the end of the game. With Week of the Mercenaries, as well as your hero ability, as well as some of your removal, this can really turn into a lot of damage late game. So that's the deck. I'm going to hop into some games on the ladder. I might actually get up to Champion 3. I'm at a little over 80% right now. I'm not sure if 3 games will be enough to do it though. So I guess we'll see, and I'll see you guys in the first video.